Hey guys, welcome to Pepcoding. In today's lecture, we are going to solve this problem: longest substring with non-repeating characters. Okay, the question is very clear from the statement itself. So let's try to read this question. You are given a string. You have to find the length of the longest substring of the given string that contains all non-repeating character. Okay, so let's discuss this problem. That's what's going on. Okay, so this question will be same as the previous question. What we will be doing in this question, we'll be just doing what we'll be adding the characters in the map. This is my map. Okay, we'll be adding the characters in the map, and we'll be releasing it. Okay, see what we are going to do. We want what? We want the longest substring which contains non-repeating characters. Okay, what does that mean? I want any substring. Let's say this is a substring CBCDBA. We have to return longest, the length of the longest substring. Let's say this is the longest length, this is the longest substring. Okay, without any repetition of characters. But you can see in this string that the characters are repeated here. See, B, B and C is also repeated. Okay, so we have to return the length of that string, which is in which the characters are non-repeated. Okay, so let's see that how we are going to do these questions. Okay, so initially what we are going to do, we are just going to acquire the characters here. Okay, so now I am at A. I am going to increment I first, and after that I am going to increment J. Okay, so I am going to acquire this character. Okay, so here A will be equals to 1. That means the length of the substring is right now 1. Okay, so initially my length was A. Okay, so I'll be storing my length of my substring, the maximum length of the substring, in some integer variable. Okay, and I am going to update it if I am getting the if I'm getting the bigger substring than this. Okay, so after this I am going to acquire B. Okay, so now my B equals to 1. Okay, now the length of the substring is what? Now my I is at here and my J is at here. J will be at starting, J is at -1. Okay, and my right now my I is at what? 0, 1. Okay, 1. So 1, the length will be what? Length will be I minus J, which is equals to 1 minus of -1, which is equals to 2. Okay, so right now my length is 2, so I am going to update it. Now my substring is what? My substring is this AB. Fine, my substring is AB and the length is 2. It has been updated already. Okay, we are just going to update the length of my substring. Okay, so now I'm at B and I am going to update it. Okay, now after this, when I am going to acquire, I'll be checking if my character's length is equals to 2. Then I am going to break the loop and I am going to enter this release loop. Okay, so see now what I'm going to do. Now my J will be here, and after this I'm not going to update this if I'm getting this. Okay, yeah, so now I am at this, so I'm going to release my A. See, now I'm going to release my A. Now my A is what? A is 0. Fine, okay, but now but my substring is till my substring is invalid. Okay, so I'm going to release the characters till I'm getting a valid substring. Okay, so now I'm at here and I'm going to do what? I'm going to update it. So I'm now going to update my B, and now it's 1. Okay, so so now I can do what? I can have my substring. Okay, now I am valid. Now my substring is valid right now, but now the length is what? Length is just this. See, just this. Okay, so I'm just not going to update because my previous length was 2. Okay, so after this I'm going to do what? I'm going to acquire it. Okay, now my A will be equals to 1. See, now it's 1. My substring is valid. See, now I'm getting this one, so I'm not going to update because previous length was 2 itself. Okay, now I'll be getting C. Now C is 1. Okay, so now C is 1, so I'm getting a bigger substring C like this. Now my I will be here and my J will be here. I'll be at what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. My I is 4 and my J is what? 0, 1. Okay, so my length is what? 4 minus 1, that is I minus J, and which is equals to 3. You can see from here that I am getting the length 3. Okay, so if my current length is greater than the previous length, then I am going to do what? I am going to update my length, and my string right now is what? BAC, which is of length 3. I am just going to store this length. I am not going to store this string. I am just going to store this length, and at last I am going to return this length. Okay, so after this Now we are at valid point. Okay, my substring is valid till now. Okay, so I'm just going to acquire more. Okay, so now my b equals to 2. Okay, now I'm going to release this. Okay, now I'll be here, so I'm going to release my b. See, now I'm going to release my, this is what we have to do in this whole question. Okay, so now again I am at valid string. Okay, acb, you can see it's of length 3, but previous length was 3, so it's fine. So now I'm going to acquire more. So now c is equals to 2. Now I'm at invalid point, so I'm going to do what? I'm going to release my characters. Okay, now my a will be what? It'll be 0. Okay, that's fine. Now I am at c, so I'm going to do what? I'm going to, yeah, now my c is 1, previously it was 2. Okay, so its length is 2, so I'm not going to update, I'm going to acquire more. So now my d is 1. Okay, now, and previously when my d was 1, I get the length 3. Okay, but I'm not going to update because previous length was also 3. There's no change. Okay, if I'm going to update, it's no big deal. Fine. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now, I get b here. Okay, now b will be equal to 2, but I am at now I am at invalid point. Okay, so now I'll be releasing this. Okay, now I'm at b again, my j is at b, so I'm going to remove this b. Now I am at 1. Okay, so now I'm at valid point. See, all are having 1, but a is not there, a was 0. Okay, yeah, so now I'm going to do what? I'm going to acquire more. So now I'm getting a here. So now my a equals to 1. Okay, so till now my j is here and my I is here. When I'm going to subtract this, I'm going to get the length, but now the length is 4. So I'm going to update it because previous length was 3, but now current length is more than previous, so I'm going to update it. Now its length is 4, so now I have updated my length. Fine. So now I'm going to do the same thing again and again. Okay, after this I'm going to, now I'm at valid point because all the characters are having one sum. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to acquire more. So now I'm at d, so now d will be equal to 2. Now again I'm going to release. Okay, now c will be equal to 0. So yeah, c is equal to 0, and d, when I'm going to remove d, so I'll be getting here 1, so I can acquire more. So now I'm at b, so I'm going to do what? Increase this b. Fine. So now I'm at again invalid word, so I'm going to do the same thing again. Okay, so this is how we have to do, and we are going to store this. Okay, store the length, and we at last we are going to do what? We are just going to return this length. Fine. Okay, so now let's try to code this out, so then you will be getting a better picture of this question. Yeah, so let's try to code this. Okay, we have to code this in C++ language. Fine. So initially what we are going to do here is we are going to firstly create an unordered map. Fine. Okay, so it's here, it's map, and its keys are of what? Character, and its values are integer. Fine. Okay, so I'm going to name it as map. Fine. So initially I'm going to do what? I'm going to take the length as 0 because initially it will be 0. Then we have to just update our length. Okay, and our length, we know that after this we our length will be increasing. Okay, so we just have to update it. So I'm taking it as 0, and I'm going to take two variables that are I and j, though both are starting from -1. I have already talked about this. Okay, so I'm going to run a while loop here. Okay, whenever I want to break it, I'll break it. Okay, see what are the conditions. Okay, the very first thing what we are going to do, we are going to acquire some characters firstly. Okay, so here I'm going to use what? I'm going to use I pointer. Okay, so I'm going to do what? I'm going to run this loop till when? Till my, wait, till my size I -1. Okay, yeah, so here firstly I'm going to typecast it. Yeah, yes, so what I'm going to do initially, whenever I'm in this loop, I'm going to increment my I, and I'm going to get the character. So care ch is equal to str of I. Fine. Okay, so now I'm going to check if it's present or not, that this character is present in my map or not. Okay, so I'm going to find it first. Yeah, so ch, it is just not equal to my map.end. Fine, that means something is present in this. Okay, that means this key is present in my map. Okay, if this condition is hitting. Fine, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just update my map, update my keys value with +1. Okay, else that means what? it's not present, so I'm going to write its value as 1 and I'm going to create this key. Fine. Yeah. So one more thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to check whether my this value is equals to 2 or not. If it's 2, that means I have to break. I am not going to acquire more. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to break here. Else what I'm going to do, I'm going to update my length. Okay. I'm going to update my length. Let's see if my length can be updated or not. Okay. So this was it. Okay, I have already told you about this, what we are going to do here. Okay, yeah. So the next thing what we are going to do here is we are going to release the characters. Okay, so here I'm going to release the characters while my j is less than I. Okay, I can't surpass I if I am j. Okay, so I'm going to increment j first and I'm going to get the character. So str of what? Str of j. Fine. Yeah. So I'm going to decrease it. Okay. So map of ch will be minus equal to 1. I have decremented it. Okay. So one more thing what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see whether my character equals to 1. Then here I am going to break this loop. Okay. So why I'm doing this? See, let's say my substring was like this. A, B, B. So my map will be like this. A will be equals to 1 and B there will be 2. Okay, so let's say my I is where my I was here. Okay, when it came to, then it break this loop. Okay, so now I am at where? So now I am where? Now I am here. Let's say I was here. Let's say there was something. Okay, now my j will be equals to this. Okay, now what will happen? It's going to delete this. That means it's going to release this, so it will be equal to, then we are doing what? We are just subtracting with -1. Fine. Okay, so this will be equal to what? This will be equal to 0. Okay, now my map ch must be equal to 1. That's why I'm going to break it. Okay, so now what will happen? See, now what will happen? This while loop will run again. Okay, then I'll be at b, this b. Okay, then I'll be seeing if my b is there, then I'm going to decrease it. Yeah, I have decreased it, and it will be checking that if my map's character equals to what? Equals to 1, then I'm going to break. And it's very obvious that why we are breaking it, because now my substring is very fine. So I hope you understand this, that why we have done this thing. I hope you understand that why we have done this thing. Okay, so now here we are going to break plus one more. Plus the major thing what we are going to do when we are going to break this loop. Okay, so I am going to take here two boolean flags. Okay, I'm going to initialize them with false and I'm going to mark them as true when I am going to enter here. Okay, why I'm doing this? See, because I want to break my loop. Yeah, okay, that means if I am having false after the both iterations, if let's say if f1 is false and then f2 is also false, then I am going to break the main loop, and at last what I'm going to do, I'm going to return the length. That's it. So this was our code. That means why I'm taking flag, because this while loop is also not working and this is also not working. That means there is no such thing. Now there is no work we have to do. We just have to return it. Okay, so now let's try to run this and see if there are some errors. No, it's accepting. And let's try to submit this and see if all the test cases are getting passed. 5 are passed. Yeah, so all 9 test cases are passed. I hope you understood. I hope you understood this question. If you are having any doubt, please watch this video again. And if you like the video, please hit the like button and please share and subscribe our channel. Okay guys, so bye bye, take care, see ya.